Hi friends, welcome back to another episode of Majid's Hometown Connections. Today we are at 200 Main Vintage. We're going to be visiting with co-owners Tobe Reed and Phyliss Asbury. Let's check it out. Hi, I'm with Tobe here. Tobe, thank you so much for having us into your store, 200 Main Vintage. Beautiful store. You got to check this place out. Tobe, I know you've been in this business for several years now. You guys started online, but now obviously you have a physical space here. What inspired you to start this business, and how you got started?
Well, first, thanks for coming to see us today. Yeah. Just had our grand opening a couple weeks ago, so one of the first to come see us.
Nice.
Mom and I have been, this actually kind of started by accident, honestly. I blogged for a long time back in the era of blogging, and got tapped by One Kings Lane, a site that sells exclusively, or sold exclusively online at the time. And they did something a little bit different. They had a vintage market, and they did flash sales. So it was urgent. You had to, when you saw it, you had to get it. Mm-hmm. And it was a really genius concept, honestly. I was hooked. I was checking it out all the time, and they would run tastemaker sales every once in a while, where they'd round up what we now call influencers, but people in the trade, other bloggers, stylists even, people in the industry. Mm-hmm. They'd round them up, and they would do a tastemaker sale, and it was 3 days only. Get it or lose out. Yeah. And they tapped me for one of those. So it was a huge compliment. And at the time, we had just moved into our house that you helped us buy. And we sold our own furnishings because I wasn't about to go buy things that I didn't need and didn't know if they would sell. And it went really well. I sold all of our stuff. So I was hooked, honestly. So I asked them, the buyer that had reached out to me, I said, could I keep selling with you guys? And they said, absolutely, we'd love that. So I became one of their vintage market sellers. Mm-hmm. That was back in 2013. So we just hit our decade, our 10-year mark, which is, incredible. And, Mom she would be out thrifting or shopping or going to estate sales or whatever, and she would kind of send me messages and say, do you think you could sell this? And just over time, it became a really natural partnership. I love the front end, getting things photographed, getting them uploaded, talking about them. Mm-hmm. And she gets so much satisfaction out of the, shipping and checking the box. And she actually won't even let me touch anything to ship it. Wow. Like she doesn't think that it'll get there safely. So it's a perfect, honestly, the perfect marriage, and it's been a really great ride.
Yeah, well, and obviously the business has grown to get to this point. Tobe, we live in a day and age of just mass-produced furniture and decor. What do you think draws people to the uniqueness of vintage decor and furniture?
Oh, I think definitely the history of it. I don't think you can fake that. Mm-hmm. I think people really like, especially right now, people like knowing that there's a story behind what they bought. It had a life before them. A lot of times things will have a really beautiful, rich patina, especially wood. Like we're seeing a bench off today that just the edges are curved just right. There's little dings in it, I think that warms spaces up and makes them feel real and lived in and authentic. And a lot of times too, things were very well made back then, and we don't see that quite as much anymore, or you're gonna pay quite a bit for it. Yeah. So I think the combination of the timelessness and the quality, and we've kind of tried really hard to, after 10 years you kind of see similar things again and again. So we try to focus on things that are unique or you're not going to come by very often, if ever again. We've had a few things kind of pass through that really broke our hearts to say goodbye to, because we know we'll probably never find another one. So that's pretty cool.
No, it's interesting, because even sometimes when I'm going through homes, I'm guilty of this. I'll stop and say, that's a really unique piece of furniture or whatever, and that came, like you said, it has a history or it came from somewhere, so I love that. It just adds something to a home, having that special element.
For sure.
Tobe, you have so many awesome pieces in here, but what's one of the most unique pieces that have come through your doors, and what's the story behind it? do you have something that just really sticks out in your memory?
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few of them actually. Some of them I still have, or Mom has at home, because we just can't stand the idea of letting it go, honestly. A lot of times we'll buy things and we'll say, this is for me. Maybe we'll sell it someday. And a lot of times it ends up getting listed at some point, but just because that's kind of the fun of this, is an ever-changing, home. But there have been a few things. One comes to mind when we had our last space at 95th and Knoll. I brought in a rug similar to this one up front here that it was a personal rug. It was mine. I'd had it for years. It was an absolute steal, honestly, when I found it. Had just really rich color, and you could tell it was handmade, and just all the qualities you want in a rug. And I had it in the store in the front because it just needed that kind of presence. And someone came in and looked at it for a long time, came back with their designer another day, and ended up buying it. And I mean, I was choking back the lump in my throat as I rolled it up. No kidding, because I was just like, no, I didn't mean it. So, I mean, yeah, there are definitely, like I said before, some one-of-a-kind pieces that you just kind of think, I might never have anything like this again. So those are...
Well, and just probably the thrill of finding it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what keeps us going in this business, truthfully, is just the hunt. It's so fun.
That's so cool. Tobe, you've mentioned Mom. Obviously, Mom is your business partner, Phyliss.
She is.
What's it like working with your mom?
It's super. No, it's honestly amazing, and every day I truly feel blessed that I get to do this with her. I made the comment even a few weeks ago when we were on the road picking up a piece. We just talk the whole time we're on the road, and I'm like, how do we never run out of things to talk about?
That's awesome.
And it could be business, and it could be personal, it could be news, but it's really amazing to get this time together. And like I said, I kind of have my roles, and she has her roles, and our taste overlaps, but it's not the same. So, it's always really fun. Even a few times we've had bets. She came home with a set of chairs, and I came home with a set of chairs, and we made a bet on whose chairs would sell first because we hated the other person's chairs. And I won the bet.
Nice.
But I mean, both sets sold. But yeah, we have fun with it, and
that's so cool.
You do what moms and daughters do. Sometimes we go at it, but
Yeah.
We're professionals.
That's human nature. No, I love how you talked about earlier, just you guys kind of each have your role, and it's a beautiful partnership, that you guys can work together and help each other. Obviously, grown your business tremendously, so it's working well.
Yeah, it's been a good ride for sure.
Well, Tobe, thank you so much for taking the time today. Learned so much, and I've had the pleasure of knowing Tobe since I was 11 years old. We grew up as neighbors, so it's really awesome for me to see her and her mom have so much success and just do amazing things. Tell us more about the business. What can we expect to see in the future? Where do we find you online? Things like that.
Sure. Well, like I said, we started on 1 Kings Lane, and a few years after that jumped over to a site called Chairish. Chairish, and that is where we sell online currently. So we're available online to ship anywhere in the U.S. And then just opened this space. Like I said, official grand opening was a couple weeks ago. So we're at about 95th and Metcalf here, and I would say that this is our growth phase. We took our time finding this space, finding just the right one. And we did it, and we signed a good long lease. So this is kind of what we hope to see where this takes us, and what can come of the space, how things will evolve from here.
Cool.
We're comfortable with the question mark.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And then you guys do a really good job on social media too. I know you're on Instagram. It's 200 Main Vintage,
Yes,
is that right?
200 Main Vintage.
Yeah, so check out their content. It's amazing. And then obviously come in here and see all these beautiful pieces for yourself. Just incredible. Thank you so much, Tobe.
Thank you.
Thanks for checking out another edition of Majid's Hometown Connection. Be on the lookout for future episodes.